This is the discussion for 1993 A-level essay question number 1. 1993 A-level essay question number 1. First question. Distinguish between elastic and inelastic collisions. So what is elastic collision? An elastic collision is where the kinetic energy is conserved. Kinetic energy before the collision is equal to kinetic energy after the collision. Therefore, elastic collision is a collision where the kinetic energy is conserved. What is an inelastic collision? An inelastic collision is a collision where the kinetic energy is not conserved. That means there is an energy loss. Okay? So, inelastic collision is a collision where the kinetic energy is not conserved. Give an example for a completely inelastic collision. What do you mean by completely inelastic? Object is traveling, after colliding, full energy is lost. Example is if you take a clay ball and if you throw it and the clay ball goes and gets stuck to a wall. Initially there is a kinetic energy, after it hits, it gets stuck to the wall, all the energy is lost. If the complete kinetic energy is lost, as sound, heat or some form of energy, we say it is a completely inelastic collision. So you can write the example there, throw a clay ball that gets stuck to the wall. So you throw a clay ball with a velocity and it gets stuck to the wall or the roof or whatever. It's called a completely inelastic collision. Right. Let's look at this question. It's a very famous question but also very important. 3 trolleys ABC. 3 trolleys ABC. A is 1 kilogram. B is also 1 kilogram. C we don't know for now. Mass are kept at rest. A is projected with a velocity v towards B, assuming all collisions are elastic. There are a few questions you must answer. Show that trolley A collides with B, A comes to rest, B will travel with B. State how many subsequent collisions occur if the mass is half. State what happens when mass is 2 kg and find the final velocities. And then there is a question to answer. Right. Look at the board very carefully. So initially B is at rest. This is your Roman 1. Roman 1. So after collision, let's say A travels with V1 and let's say B travels with V2. Right. Remember it's a collision, perfectly elastic collision. So we can apply law of conservation of linear momentum. Whether it's elastic or inelastic, you can apply law of conservation of linear momentum. So total initial linear momentum, you must write this. Total initial linear momentum equals total final linear momentum. Total final linear momentum. I can write in short form total initial linear momentum, total final linear momentum, because I have written it here. Okay. Total initial linear momentum 1 times V, 1 times at rest. After collision 1 times V1, 1 times V2. V is equal to V1 plus V2. So I can make V on the subject, V minus V2 equation number 1. Don't forget it's an elastic collision. What collision? Elastic collision. That means total initial kinetic energy, equals total final kinetic energy. Total final kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy is half mass into velocity square. Final kinetic energy is half mass into velocity square. Half mass into velocity square. Cut all the mass. From this we have the relationship V squared is equal to V1 squared plus V2 squared. There you go, equation number 2. So it's a very important basic relationship that you have taken. What is this basic relationship? You have applied law of conservation of linear momentum. Once you apply law of conservation of linear momentum, you can also apply initial kinetic energy equals final kinetic energy. Why initial kinetic energy equals final kinetic energy? Elastic collision. Elastic collision. Right, look at the board now. Right. Here we can substitute 1 to equation 2. Let's substitute. V squared equal for V1 we can put V minus V2 squared V2 squared. V squared equal V squared minus 2V V2 plus V2 squared V2 squared. V squared cancel. Here 2V2 squared 2V V2 is 0. 2V2 common, V2 minus V is 0. Therefore, V2 equals 0 or V2 minus V is 0. V2 equals 0 or V2 equals V. Look at the board. When this is colliding with that, can V2 be 0? No. The moment it collides, this should move. V2 cannot be 0, therefore V2 equals V. If V2 equals V, you can substitute to equation 1. V1 equal V minus V2 0. Interesting. Therefore, we can say A is at rest. B will travel with, B will move with B. B will move with B. Okay? B will move with B. So it's not a difficult relationship, but something that you can easily find. Okay, let's move on to the next part. Roman 2. How many subsequent collisions will occur? Subsequent means after. Okay. If the final mass of velocities for all the trolleys in terms of V, if m is half a kilogram. Now what has happened? A has come, collided and stopped. Roman 2. A is at rest. A is at rest. B is traveling with a velocity V. It's going to collide with C. Half a kilogram at rest. C. After collision, what can you say about velocity of B? V3, V4. So you can apply this. Remember, don't go and take again V1, V2. V1, V2 already taken. So use a different symbol. That's the mathematical way of thinking. Use a different symbol. The problem is much more solvable. Again, here we can apply law of conservation of linear momentum. Again, here you can apply law of conservation of linear momentum. I'll write short form because I wrote it earlier. Total initial linear momentum equals total final linear momentum. Initial linear momentum 1 times V, half times 0. Final linear momentum 1 times V3, half times V4. So V is equal to, don't forget, V3 plus V4 over 2. V3 plus V4 over 2. If you want, you can make V3 the subject and keep V minus V4 over 2. You name this, let's say, equation X. Equation X. Also, total initial kinetic energy. Total initial kinetic energy equals total final kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy is half mass into velocity square. These are rest. Final half mass into V3 square, half mass into V4 square. all the halves cancel off. V squared equal V3 squared V4 squared over 2 equation y. Equation y. Then what? Carefully simplify this. Carefully simplify this. You take from x and you substitute to y. So substitute x to y. If you substitute x to y, v squared equal v3 squared. v3 squared is v minus v4 over 2 squared plus v4 squared over 2. Carefully open brackets. v squared, multiply this 2, multiply by 2, v4. v4 squared over 4. v4 squared over 2. v squared cancel out. Simplify this. Minus v4. Common denominator 4. Common denominator 4. Here v4 squared plus 2v4 squared 0. Simplify this. 3v4 squared over 4 minus vv4 is 0. Take v4 common. 3v4 over 4 minus v is 0. Together good. Together good. When this collides with that, can v4 be 0? v4 can never be 0. Therefore, 3 over 4 v4 minus v is 0. v4 is 4v over 3. 4v over 3. If v4 is 4v over 3, very simple. Substitute to equation x. If you substitute to equation x, v3 is equal to v minus v4 is 4v over 3. v minus 2v over 3. Cross multiply v over 3. v3 is v over 3. So they are asking you a very nice question. Subsequently, how many collisions? A will collide with B. Subsequently, B will collide with C. That's it. B will have a different velocity. C will have a different velocity. If I draw the velocity separately, A will be at rest. B is traveling with velocity v over 3. C is traveling with velocity 4v over 3. So subsequently, one collision after A collides with B. A collides with B. Subsequently, one more collision. So subsequently means after the first collision, one more collision is taking place. One more collision is taking place. Okay? Carefully write it down. Carefully write it down. Okay. Problem 3. What will happen if mass is 2 kg? Find the final velocities of all the trolleys given. So Roman 3 now. A collides with B. A is at rest. B is traveling. C has a mass of 2 kg now. C has a mass of 2 kg now. I name this velocity is V5 and V6. I name this velocity is V5 and V6. Okay. Right. So no need to go and erase a lot of things. We can apply law of conservation of linear momentum. 1 times V, 2 times 0, 1 times V5, 2 times V6. V equals V5 plus 2V6. I name this equation P. I name that equation P, or before that, V5 equals V minus 2V6, equation P. You can name it anything you want, I just put P. Right. Elastic collision, total initial kinetic energy equals total final kinetic energy. Initial kinetic energy half mass into velocity square Final half mass into velocity square. Half mass into velocity square. Half cancel off. V square is V phi square 2V6 square equation Q. Equation Q. Then what do we do? We can substitute from P to Q. Do the substitution. V squared equal V5 is V minus 2V6 squared plus 2V6 squared. Open brackets. V squared is V squared minus 4VV6 4V6 squared 2V6 squared. V squared cancel off. 6VG squared 4VV6. 2V6 take it out. 3V6 minus 2V. When this collides with that, can this be addressed? No. V6 cannot be 0. Therefore, 3V6 minus 2V is 0. V6 is 2V over 3. If V6 is 2V over 3, V5 equal V minus 2 times 2V over 3. 3V minus 4V over 3. That's minus V over 3. Interesting. V5 in the forward V5 in the forward direction minus means V5 in the backward direction V over 3. Interesting. Now when this is 2 kilogram, A will collide with B, B will collide with C. C is going forward, B will go backwards. Now you can say, my God sir, do I need to add solve back again for B and A colliding? No need. You all know what's happening before B and A. If the masses are same, travelling mass will collide and stop, the other mass will get the same velocity. Okay. So if I draw this for your understanding, A is at rest, B is travelling backwards with V over 3, C is travelling forwards with 4V over 3. Sorry, 2V over 3. Now B and C will collide. Sorry, B and A will collide. But we know the masses are same. What will happen? B will collide with A, B will come to rest. A will travel backwards with the velocity V3, V over 3. C will keep travelling forward with 2V over 3. There you go. All the velocities. So masses are same, 1 kilogram collides with 1 kilogram, this will stop, that will move. But when the masses are different, the final velocities are also not different. Final velocities are also different. So remember, you have to write these steps. You can't escape and go. You must write these steps to get the final answer. Okay? You must write these steps to get the final answer. Part 4. If instead the rehearsal friction are the conservation laws that you have used still valid, explain your answer. Yes. Even though there is friction, the impulsive force generated at the collision is very large compared to the friction. So we ignore the friction and we do the problem. Okay? Right there. In a collision, the impulsive forces generated is much more larger than the friction force. Therefore, we can ignore the friction force. And apply the conservative laws. Okay, no? Right. That concludes 1993 essay question 1 based on linear momentum and collision.